Hi, it's Bernie Goldbach on the 5th of September 2010 with the Sunday Paper Boo. You might not know that word, Sunday Paper Boo, but if you follow me on audioboo.fm/topgold, you'll know that I spend some Sundays sitting outside my house reading the papers. Today I'm looking at some work inside Sunday Business Post and the Sunday Times, and specifically, if you're following this over on YouTube in the Topgold channel, you'll see a photo in an article by Adrian Weckler about the iPad going to work. Interesting article. I always wonder why Adrian doesn't want to profile Flipbook. But anyway, it's a good article. The iPad gets down to business is what it's entitled. It's inside the Computer and Business magazine. And Adrian's helped me answer the question, is the iPad a proper business tool? I won't give you the answer to that. Read Computer and Business for the rest of the story. Adrian gives a column away to the idea of setting up places. If you set up a place on Facebook or Foursquare, hundreds or thousands of eyeballs could be on your business. Innovative idea. But you know what I'm asking? What's wrong with identifying the fact that Google Local does that? Probably better. Or that you can use all the recommendations on the OV maps and deliver a known value. I think it's important to know what's actually in the cars of people with discretionary income. And it's the stuff that's tied into the layers already. Google's doing that. So is the Nokia Navtec system. Sunday Times. Angle's going to be wound down. Well, maybe. Probably. How many years is it going to take? That's the speculation on a lot of the news stories. All of the week. All of the month. It's a doom and gloom item. All part of the meltdown of the Irish economy. The government's concluded that the economy can't bear the cost of a 5-year wind down. The burden, €5 billion a year up to 2016. Freaking amazing. Some other small stories on the front page. Probably going to have election before, I'd say by this time next year. 2011, before Christmas, definitely. New government. It's just the way things are. And John Mooney has a front page story revealing some intelligence about how gangs are kidnapping bank managers. They're putting bugs in them. Yeah, listening devices. Karen Cuff's encountering a problem that can be circumvented by using Irish debate. In regards to government policy, the junior minister, Karen Cuff, made some musings on his weblog about maybe abolishing stamp duty, replacing it with a property charge, yada yada yada. Good thoughts, but pulled from his blog because, as a junior minister, it was contrary to government opinion. Brian Carey asked, can we take the weight? And it's an Anglo story again, a full-page story. Struggling taxpayers have to bear the weight of this burden. For the taxpayer, the bill for restructuring has been estimated at €25 billion. That's more than double the estimates that were floated 18 months ago. So much money into a zombie bank. No one's talking about cutting these zombies, who are elected politicians, back to reality. Stephen Dunn gives a report about how easy it is to top up your income if you're an elected politician. The amount paid for travel bears no reality to what it does cost to maintain a car or to travel. And a lot of the TDs are taking on board that their travel money is like danger money. Their travel and accommodation money is like a special top-up you need to cover other expenses. Lads, in an austere condition, you guys really need to get real and cut back like the rest of the people, your constituents. Alluring myths hide the real dangers. Damien Kyberd looks at gives the Irish outlook. Big deal. Big deals, guys. The cost of shoring up Anglo-Irish Bank and the Irish Nationwide Building Society is going to exceed €40 billion. Those two banks aren't going to lend a cent again. It's all dead money. And it will cost the Irish taxpayer €2 billion a year at least to service that debt. I like this idea. Your country needs you. Eamon O'Keefe is a minister of state, actually a proper minister, and he floated a kite, flew a kite last week around do social work or lose your dole. I think it's an innovative way of looking, and I'm more convinced it is because senior trade unionists are putting all these steps down. Voluntary recruitment, holiday paid, right to union membership, time off for job interviews, flexi time to fit into casual work, and the freedom to move between posts. Aim Laqueef, even though I'm not speaking in Irish, I would follow the lead, and many of the ideas expressed by Stephen O'Brien and Ciara Kenny here. Keep pushing on. Good ideas. Work comes first. Work's good. Emotions run cold in Siberia, Luke Gibbons writes. Technology must not take anything from the arts. It's a think tank article pulled from a opening address that the professor made to a conference, the ISIL conference. And he's pointing out, transparency under Mark Zuckerberg's view of the world is that your intimacy or that your fulfillment as a person is better when you share more. However, as Luke Gibbons points out, greater surveillance and monitoring reintroduces police into a technological guise. It's easier to find out who you are if you reveal a lot about what you're doing, where you're playing, and who your friends are. Pat Lee, the front page of the Sunday Business Post, points out a pretty simple way of looking at the budget. Tax increases, further cuts to capital spending, reduced to a simple billboard. Tax, but don't spend. Right. This is the slimmest review of the Sunday papers I've had forever. It's all just, okay, an innovation story. Brian and Eamon Fallon of Daft.a are pushing into a space that Mark Little has, and basically they're opening a thing called the journal.ie. They'll be using the site editor skills of Jennifer O'Connell. She's off-message Jen on Twitter. And the guys are convinced that, if you page back in the Sunday papers, you'll find stories of local newspapers collapsing and folding, that the online audience has significant growth potential. And with that, there's an advertising revenue stream that can be easily tapped. Daft Boys are doing it well. They know how to work in that space, so let's see where that goes. The Irish Freakonomics Show is a headline underneath an article written by Kathleen Barrington, and she's pointing out that she's figuring an item. Michael Dempsey put his 4-bedroom bungalow on the market and said he'd consider any offer above €1. Here's the story. We couldn't move out of where we live easily without finding another property with a distressed loan behind it. So it's much easier to move into something that the bank's not recovering its loan payments from than it is to move into something if you're both working with a good credit record. Translated, we're probably not going to be able to move. And all because the banks are devouring our society. Money's just not there. Vincent Brown writes his editorial comment at the back of Sunday Business Post today, and same old story. I'm training new students on what it means to be social. Sunday Times Magazine, Jessica Brinton has a story about what's it like to be Generation Y. You got to have the look, you got to have the attitude, you got to have the gang, and you got to maintain a cautious proximity. That story on my blog at www.insideview.ie because I'm interested in connecting with new students. I'll end with Jennifer O'Connell, off-message Jen, subtitling it The Meltdown. She says, looking at Greece, Europe's bad boy, we're now rewarded with lower interest rates on government borrowings. Why is that? Well, she doesn't actually say, why not be harder on easier places to squeeze? That would be elected politicians cut back on some of their benefits. Instead, the government will slash social welfare payments, will introduce property tax, will widen the tax net, will reduce tax-free allowances. So Jennifer somehow got the inside track to the budget day in Ireland, and that's the Irish budget in a nutshell. In a nutshell, I'm in my back garden. You probably hear the traffic going by. You might see the Wendy House if you're watching this on YouTube, or the Jungle Gym. We have a lot of work to do today. And it starts by watching Kilkenny and Tipperary play in the All-Ireland hurling final. Catch up with me on Twitter. My nick there is topgold. On Flickr, you can see more images and past screen grabs from these short Sunday news clips at flickr.com/photos/Irish eyes. From Cashel, County Tipperary, Ireland, among the birds and the remnants of a picnic yesterday, it's Bernie Golbach saying bye for now.